Have you ever found yourself longing for a quick fix when stress, restlessness, or boredom takes hold? In today's fast-paced world, self-soothing has become second nature, whether through social media, scrolling, snacking, or sexual release. We often hear that masturbation is perfectly natural, something everybody does. But where does this natural instinct end, and where does a destructive habit begin? In this video, we'll explore the subtle line between healthy release and compulsive behavior. We'll journey through the science that explains our urges, reflect on the lessons of ancient Stoic philosophers, and see how self-awareness can lead us toward deeper fulfillment. In doing so, we'll uncover a path of mindful living and true inner harmony. To truly appreciate how we got here, it helps to see how attitudes towards self-pleasure have evolved. Historically, masturbation was often demonized. Some believed it led to illnesses or sapped one's energy in ways that made them less desirable or less able to fulfill their societal roles. In other times and places, it was simply seen as wasteful, a diversion of physical potential that should be reserved for reproduction or deeper intimacy with a partner. Modern medicine, however, recognizes that masturbation occurs naturally across the animal kingdom, including in dogs and other mammals. We've learned to accept that self-pleasure can be normal and even beneficial in moderation. Yet this acceptance can sometimes overshadow the risks of overindulgence. Let's talk about why masturbation, particularly when it becomes frequent, can quietly reshape our lives. Each time we experience sexual climax, the brain releases a cocktail of feel-good chemicals with dopamine playing a central role. Dopamine delivers a sense of relief, reward, and relaxation. For many who wrestle with stress or insomnia, masturbating can momentarily soothe the mind and even help them drift off to sleep. But here lies the potential snare as dopamine surges repeatedly. Our brains can demand more to feel the same comfort. Over time, receptors begin to tire of constant stimulation, nudging us to escalate our behaviors just to chase that original spark. This pattern mirrors other addictive loops, be it compulsive eating, substance use, or gambling. What once was an occasional stress reliever can become an ever-present craving that disrupts daily life, self-esteem, and even close relationships. When someone becomes ensnared in the cycle of excessive self-pleasure, emotional struggles often follow. It may begin subtly, a quiet sense of shame or guilt, a nagging question of, why can't I stop? Over time, this can deepen into frustration or self-blame, particularly if the individual tries to quit but finds themselves pulled back in. For those in relationships or seeking them, compulsive masturbation may reduce the motivation to engage more meaningfully with a partner. The lure of quick gratification can overshadow genuine emotional connection or the willingness to invest in intimacy. Bit by bit, a person might drift away from shared goals, deeper bonds, or even from the hobbies and activities that once brought them joy. This spiral may sound dramatic, but like many unhealthy habits, it often unfolds gradually. By the time people notice, it can feel like a heavy weight on their spirit, a silent force that detracts from who they long to be. Stoicism, an ancient school of thought, championed by philosophers like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, offers timely wisdom on addressing such desires. Stoics believed that our highest growth comes from self-mastery, learning to navigate impulses without letting them control our minds or behaviors. They did not see any bodily function as evil in itself. Instead, they encouraged us to question our attachments. Are we using our own bodies and minds wisely, or are we falling prey to fleeting pleasures? Their perspective suggests that by understanding our impulses, truly seeing where they lead, we reclaim our power and nurture inner peace. The essence of Stoicism is not suppression, but rather a gentle awareness and regulation of one's emotional currents. In many ways, the Stoic approach mirrors what modern psychology might call mindful self-regulation. It doesn't ask us to hate or shame our natural drives. Instead, it encourages us to pause and observe. Why do we feel compelled to indulge right now? Are we lonely, anxious, or simply bored? What deeper needs might be going unmet? When we respond to stress by turning to instant gratification, we miss the chance to dive deeper into journaling, meditation, meaningful conversation, or other forms of self-care. Stoicism reminds us that every choice shapes our character. If we allow ourselves to be swept up in a constant loop of immediate pleasure, we risk losing the subtle beauty of living with purpose. I'd like to share a brief story. A close friend of mine once relied heavily on masturbation to cope with everyday pressure. Whenever life felt overwhelming, this habit became an escape hatch, a way to release tension. But as time passed, he noticed his motivation slipping away. He started losing interest in activities that once inspired him. He grew anxious about forming real connections, preferring a fleeting private rush over vulnerability with another person. Eventually, he took a step back and recognized the cycle. Emboldened by lessons from Stoic teachings and contemporary mindfulness practices, he chose a new path. Each time an urge arose, he paused, took a few deep breaths, and asked himself, "What am I actually feeling? Is there another way to address this need?" By confronting the hidden emotions fueling his urges, he slowly found greater balance. The result was not only relief from the compulsion, but a resurgence of creativity and authenticity in his daily life. If you're wondering how to break a habit that might be draining you physically, emotionally, or spiritually, here are some suggestions inspired by both Stoic principles and modern psychology. Mindful reflection. When an urge surfaces, gently inquire into your mood. Are you stressed, sad, or just bored? Recognizing the root often reveals alternative solutions like taking a brief walk, reading, or calling a friend. Set clear intentions. Establish small, achievable goals. You might decide to limit screen time at night or dedicate specific hours to engaging in fulfilling hobbies. Each goal, however modest, builds momentum toward greater self-control. Embrace healthy outlets. Swap the fleeting dopamine rush for activities that genuinely nourish you. It could be exercise, journaling, learning a new skill, or exploring creative arts. These pursuits provide sustainable fulfillment rather than momentary distraction. Meditation and breathing techniques. Ancient Stoics championed self-awareness, and modern mindfulness aligns with that. Practice deep breathing or short meditations to ground yourself when you feel pulled toward unhealthy patterns. Seek community and support. Share your journey with a trusted friend, counselor, or support group. Many people feel isolated with these struggles, but vulnerability often leads to connection and understanding. The Stoics taught that we are part of nature's grand tapestry, and our actions can either harmonize with this flow or disrupt it. When we overindulge in any craving, we lose touch with our inner compass, drifting from our higher purpose. True tranquility isn't found in artificially chasing pleasure after pleasure. It is in the quiet confidence that arises when we align our choices with our deepest values. Compulsive masturbation, like any habit that takes control of us, can pull us away from who we really are. Yet within each moment of awareness lies an invitation to pause, reflect, and step toward what truly nourishes our spirit. With patience and practice, We can rewire our relationship to short-term cravings, transforming them into signals that guide us back to balance and self-mastery. Before you go, I invite you to consider this. Every time you honor your power to choose, you strengthen your mind's capacity for resilience and authenticity. Real confidence grows from living in harmony with yourself, not from fleeting gratification. If you feel inspired, share a simple affirmation in the comments below. Write, "I am a powerful person. I have control over my mind. I choose what empowers me and elevates my life." By stating this openly, you plant a small but mighty seed of transformation. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this message resonates, feel free to like this video and subscribe for more reflections on mindful living, emotional healing, and the gentle art of self-discovery.